With Fred Kemp, let's try to make sense of all these headlines. He leads the Atlantic Council as its president and CEO. Fred, let's start with Musk. Why not? I suppose that for him, geopolitics is now the order of the day. Yes, the reason for the traffic jams and rain in New York must be the UN General Assembly. However, it appears that Elon Musk is the person who all of the state leaders in this area would like to meet. He owns 6 gigafactories, one each in China, Germany, and the United States. He is also observing Mexico. He thus spoke with Erdogan, who expressed a desire for one of them. The French, the Spanish, and the Italians are conversing with him. India could have a role in this, but the reason Turkey is so fascinating is that it has a century-long relationship with Ford. It can send to third nations, manufactures, and has a sizable population. It is also accustomed to making automobiles. Thus, these discussions may continue. One of the primary reasons why investors are upbeat about their Tesla investment today is Elon Musk's extremely bullish forecast for Tesla in 2022. Come along as we examine Tesla's largest production goal and the means by which the carmaker will accomplish this amazing achievement. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has been known to suggest that the electric vehicle manufacturer might create up to 20 million EVs by 2030. With ambitious goals to reach 20 million vehicles by the end of 2030, Tesla produced 35,000 automobiles in 2014. In just 17 years, that is a 571-fold growth in car output. In actuality, if Tesla reaches that milestone this year, even at a run rate of 2 million vehicles annually, that will represent a 57-fold increase in vehicle manufacturing in 10 years. Despite appearing somewhat unrealistic, the 2030 goal is actually extremely attainable. In this video, we'll examine the likelihood that Tesla will produce up to 20 million electric vehicles by 2030, as well as a few of the driving forces behind that potential. Now let's get started. How much does the UAW strike against the Big Three, with Canaccord Genuity, George, help potentially non-union manufacturers like Tesla? Since that Tesla and even Rivian don't have union employees, we believe that this strike may benefit those businesses. Additionally, if someone needs a car but is unable to obtain one, they have two options. They can purchase a Tesla or a Rivian. Furthermore, we believe that electric cars are simply more effective automobiles, even in spite of some pricing differences. Therefore, if this strike continues, it may help the two companies we cover, Tesla and Rivian, adopt more electric vehicles. Does it help the other American-based non-union manufacturers like Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, and so forth? Of course, although they are not covered by us, they might also benefit from them. George, it's strange, but a lot of the EV names are unavailable right now. Indeed, it's true that many had already projected the beneficial effect they may have. However, the discussions are in flux. We don't really monitor the performance on a daily basis, and we have no idea what might be affecting the stocks at any given moment. However, we believe that these EV upstarts, like Tesla and Rivian, should gradually gain market share over time. Additionally, it ought to improve their performance given their newly acquired infrastructure and their capacity to construct a vehicle from scratch. There is some truth to the 20 million figure. In order to mitigate climate change, the approximately 2 billion automobiles currently in use must be replaced by electrically driven vehicles. According to Musk, replacing just 1% of these 2 billion cars annually would equate to about 20 million electric vehicles, EVs, and he wants Tesla to produce all of those. Approximately 1/3 of all EVs manufactured now are Tesla vehicles, which is significantly greater than the combined output of automakers like Toyota and Volkswagen. Welcome back to Tesla Tomorrow, everyone. The Gigafactory Nevada of Tesla was constructed in 2014 and is currently operational. The firm only intended to produce 500,000 vehicles by 2020, and only the Model 3 and Model Y managed to meet this target, despite widespread doubts about Tesla's ability to do so. That was a 14-fold rise in only 6 years. By using the same reasoning today, Tesla would need to raise its production 11 times in 7 years to reach 20 million cars by 2030, which is still a relatively conservative number of 1.8 million cars this year. Thus, we think Tesla should be able to meet its 2030 target based on its historical growth. Tesla can cut costs by 25% and still meet its annual target of 20 million vehicles. Nonetheless, there are a few requirements that the carmaker must meet. Let's examine a few of them. But before we do, please make sure you subscribe, press the like button, and enable post alerts if you enjoy this kind of content so you can stay updated on all things Tesla. Tesla has to build more vehicles, more specifically, different types of vehicles, in order to reach its 2030 production target of up to 20 million automobiles. Elon Musk himself has stated that 10 different car models will allow us to attain the 20 million EV goal. Tesla's heavy-duty semi-truck has entered pilot production in Nevada, and the company anticipates that its Cybertruck pickup truck will start production in the Austin Gigafactory by the end of 2023. The carmaker has already revealed plans to produce a next-generation, less expensive car in Mexico and Nevada. However, details regarding the product's release date are still hazy. Tesla has to create a number of new car models in order to produce 20 million vehicles annually. Given that the Model S is 11 years old and the Model X is 6, they'd both need to be replaced or at the very least given major improvements. The Cybertruck and the Semi, the next generation of vehicles, are already in development. Thus, Tesla may be able to reach this goal in as little as 7 years if it can continue to produce automobiles. In a similar vein, Tesla's gigafactories, its production sites, will be essential to taking this figure into account. By 2030, there would only be about 6 million cars produced overall, assuming that each of these current gigafactories and the new Mexican factory could produce up to 1 million cars annually. In the past, Tesla needed roughly 3 years to move its car manufacturing facility and make its announcement. While this is admirable, Tesla will need to construct at least 12 to 14 more gigafactories between now and next year in sites that will not be disclosed in order to achieve the 2030 deadline if it is to reach 20 million by that time. The construction of each of those factories must begin by 2027, or 4 years from today. Interestingly, production and enhancements for Tesla's next generation of vehicles could happen faster than for regular Tesla cars because they will have a smaller footprint. Let's also discuss the raw materials required. Here we mean the quantity of raw materials that will be available in 2030 to produce lithium-ion batteries. Carmakers all over the world are rushing to fulfill their projected needs with long-term contracts and the acquisition of mining firms to assure their supply, and one of their main concerns is lithium production. Although Tesla is now a formidable rival in this market, it will need to acquire the majority of global battery supplies, including the raw material supply, if it hopes to produce 1/3 of the cars on the road by 2030. Even if battery technologies that require less materials to generate the same amount of energy are being developed, by 2030 they will not be widely used. What about demand, you might wonder? In 2030, will the world's population be large enough to support a Tesla? Since supply is simply the given price a customer is willing to pay for a commodity, we assume there will be. During Tesla's Investor Day, Elon Musk stated that a lot of people want to acquire a Tesla. The desire is there, but the cost is prohibitive. And for that reason, Tesla is working to reduce expenses and raise the price of its vehicles. The carmaker has discovered that tiny price reductions significantly boost demand, and that pricing is crucial. When the cost of an automobile gets closer to $20,000, affordability also increases exponentially. A Tesla may be purchased at that pricing point by almost everyone in the US and many other countries. Therefore, Tesla shouldn't have any issues with demand. Undoubtedly, it does appear like Tesla will not be able to produce 20 million vehicles by 2030. It's crucial to remember that Elon Musk has stated that this is more of an aspirational objective than a hard, fast number, should he decide to accept it. Furthermore, we don't have high expectations for this carmaker. It will be interesting to watch how Tesla performs as time goes by. However, what are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below. And don't hesitate to click on the following video on your screen to learn more about Tesla's recent activities. I'll see you over there.